We are getting ready to have a very, very good show. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We got some new info on this shooter that we're going to release. Information that hasn't been heard anywhere else. Make sure you share with your friends, family, and loved ones. Get this video out there. Hello, Patriots. Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show. I am your host, Ryan Samuels. For the third night in a row, we are covering the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is unprecedented for the show. We've never covered one topic more than 2 nights. The reason this is so significant is because, number one, as a person who's in this industry and in podcasting, whether conservative or whatever, Charlie deserves a tremendous amount of respect. He was loved by all people. The only people that hated him were the ones that had a firm misunderstanding of politics and what he stood for and how the world works. The other reason we're covering this is because we need to right the wrongs that are being projected into the Twitter sphere and social media. The Donald Trump this morning on Fox and Friends made an announcement that Tyler was captured. No, nobody else made this announcement. Donald Trump did on Fox and Friends. So we know that he has been captured. We know that he wrote on the bullets things relating to fascism. There were some rumors that came out originally that related to transgenderism, which turned out, from the information that we have now, to have been not true. But the left has now come out because the shooter's mother, and I'm not even sure it has been confirmed that this woman that they're talking about is the shooter's mother, but there's pictures of the shooter, Tyler, where he's holding guns at a young age. So what they're trying to say is that since he had guns, he's a Republican. But Republicans do not write anti-Republican slogans and then shoot them at other Republicans. They don't write anti-fascism slogans and then shoot them at other Republicans. This notion that this shooter was of the right side of the aisle is ridiculous. And it is exactly what Democrats do. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, and they will present misinformation as facts because that's the only way that they can win an argument. They cannot win an argument in a traditional sense. They cannot win it through facts and logic, which is why they have to resort to violence, which is what we saw with Charlie Kirk. So here is Donald Trump on Fox and Friends this morning talking about the shooter. Let's listen to this.
Yesterday, you were at the 9/11 memorial. We were all watching that.
Yeah.
And J.D. Vance was supposed to be with you. He went out to be with Charlie Kirk's family and to get the body back to his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is very nice of you. Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President.
He's in custody.
So that was the official announcement that we woke up to this morning. There was a lot of misinformation about the shooter the entire time that this occurred. Number one is there was Twitter that was going around that represented him as another influencer who was a trans person. They also went around and represented him as another influencer that had debated him previously, none of which turned out to be true. They turned out to be completely wrong and fake. This is why it's important to make sure that you only get the actual information before you start putting things out. So one of the big things is the Wall Street Journal had put out an article saying that the shooter was a trans person because on it wasn't Discord, it was one of those other social media sites. They had found somebody who had wrote a song like days before Charlie passed away or was killed that said, you know, Charlie Kirk dead at 31. It was a song on SoundCloud. They found the influencer. They mirrored their face against the suspect's face that was listened. It appeared to match. And then they went on this rant that this trans person was, in fact, the killer. But the trans person was, in fact, not the killer. So there's been a tremendous amount of misinformation. The only accurate information that we know or knew at the time was a couple of things. One, we found the weapon, and on the casings, the fired casing, it says, notices bulges OWO. What's this? A reference to the internet meme culture, right? That round doesn't necessarily mean much, okay? But on the other rounds, it was carved in there on the second round, hey, fascist, catch. And it had directional arrows on it. Some people are saying that that's similar to the Antifa flag. We don't know that for sure. On the third round, it said, oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao. This is a song that is sung. It's an Italian anti-fascism song. Now, the left is notorious for calling the right fascists. We saw it the whole time. We saw it in the election. We saw it on the campaign trail. We've seen it everywhere. I deal with it every day. Not that I really matter. But the notion that this person is somehow conservative is absolutely insane. But this is what the left does. The left cannot win fairly. The left cannot debate you. That's why you see all of these videos of these guys going up against Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro, and they're getting absolutely obliterated because they do not have a stance. They don't have all of the information. They don't have the facts. This is a video I had posted earlier today about our politicians on the right calling the, our politicians on the left calling the right fascists.
Hey, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
When you
Let me ask you tonight.
people as direct threats to your way of life, when you compare them to Mussolini or Stalin, you create a sense of urgency to get rid of that person. I keep saying this over and over, but I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough because the left is trying to skirt responsibility for this killing by trying to say that, oh no, this guy was on the right side of the aisle. No, he was definitely on the right side of the aisle because he has pictures of him as a child with guns. Okay. Now, believe it or not, people on the right side of on the left side of the aisle, they have guns sometimes. Joe Biden himself said that he carried a shotgun from his house in Maryland during the gun control debate under Barack Obama. Famously went skeet shooting during the argument over gun control when Barack Obama was president and said, I own guns. The people on the right side of the aisle own a lot of guns. The people on the left side of the aisle, they also own guns too. Just not all of them. Not every last one of them, but some of them do. And these pictures are from when he was a kid. Not when he was an adult, but from when he was a child. When he went to an event with his parents. And this was a military event where they allowed you to look at guns and hold guns. Here is the pictures that are circling the internet. Now keep in mind, we have no idea if these photos are the same kid. They look similar. It's very possible. But this is him at some sort of Air Force recruiting event or some military show. The whole family's there looking at guns. Okay. Now, he also, I might add, he also used a gun to kill Charlie Kirk. So because he used the gun to kill Charlie Kirk, is that considered Republicanism? Oh, well, he assassinated with somebody with a gun. He believes in the Second Amendment. Therefore, he's a Republican. Our hands are clean. Your hands are not clean. Your hands are full of blood. They're dripping with blood because you have caused an incredible divide in this country. And you're habituous with it. The entire left, you have mostly the politicians have come out and said, I renounce political violence. I renounce political violence. But they came out and just said that over 600 people, public people, including teachers, Secret Service agents, an active duty Marine Corps officer, all lost their jobs because they were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, because that's what they believe. These kids go off to college. They're young, innocent, pure kids, and then they get corrupted by a system that is built to turn them against society. And they will never be the same again. They go in as young and innocent and get radicalized by people with PhDs. People who shouldn't be around your children and teaching your children. People who think Marxism and Leninism are the way that America should be ran.
It is a good point. I want to point something else out. You heard the family member say that this man became more political, this young man became more political in recent years. Well, what did he do in recent years? He went to college. That's where kids are getting radicalized. It's not just online. Our campuses are where a lot of radicalization, hate, and intolerance starts from. Attack on all of us. I'm going to say this. No, it's an attack on conservatives. It's an attack on Christians.
This kid grew up in Utah, in a very conservative area of Utah. He didn't grow up in some New York City. He grew up around conservative ideology. Then he went to college. This is him reading his acceptance letter to college. Come on, baby, load.
Okay.
Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
This is him.
Okay.
Congratulations.
His family saying in recent years he just got political. Then he goes to college. You could make the argument that one of the prime pieces of information projected on this show to the audience is the dangers of what has been influenced in our school system. I talk about it almost every show. I know about it. I went to college. I have a master's degree. I experienced it. You're talking, that was almost 20 years ago. And it was like that back then. But nowadays, it has become increasingly more radical. He just looks like a normal kid. Just a normal kid. This is a student who went to school with him. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I went to school with a Robinson kid. I'll show y'all. That's him right there. Tyler Robinson. I'm not trying to like clout chase, make this shit about me, but I'm not gonna say I knew this kid really well. I didn't know him very well at all, but I definitely saw him for like 3 straight years in high school. And the best way I could describe him is just like a Reddit kid. I don't know, I feel like if you were in high school around that same time, and even probably now, like 2018, and then like, you know, those kinds of kids, but that's exactly what he was. All I'm gonna say is this is the kind of shit that happens when you spend way too much time online, and all of a sudden your beliefs are all the way this way or all the way this way, and you do some dramatic shit to please these people that are not your friends. This internet shit is seriously no joke.
So he's saying he was a normal kid. But he was a Reddit kid. I guess that was a thing back then. But there's something going on in our society. This is not a common thing. This is we're seeing a more increase political violence, particularly with the left. Now, the left wants to say that, of course, this is a right-wing person. And it's not. We know it's not. Yeah, they're saying his father was a police officer, yet the identity of a police officer has been being used all day today. I'm going to pull it up. So much so that the sheriff's office had to release a statement saying that it's not him. And this gentleman at the police department you're calling the father is not the father. Here it is. It reads like so. This is from the Washington County Sheriff's Office. For immediate release, relationship between Charlie Kirk shooting suspect and retired Washington County deputy. This is from Hurricane, Utah. Information has been circulated indicating that a retired deputy of the Washington County Sheriff's Office, Matt Robinson, is related to the suspect, Tyler Robinson, involved in the ongoing investigation concerning the Charlie Kirk homicide. However, retired deputy Matt Robinson is not connected or related to the individual apprehended last night. There are several people with the same name, and this was misinformation generated from an unknown source. This is one of the main things that the left wing is hinging on. They're hinging on the fact that, oh, this guy's dad was a cop. We have pictures with him with a gun at one event when he was a kid, and not now. The other thing they're going on is this is just an example of one of many posts, which is that they'll do anything to skirt responsibility so they can go out and hurt again. This is Billy Baldwin, not black, not trans, not Muslim, not a Democrat. Meet Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson, a white Christian conservative Republican male with a gun. Again, it's not. He's not a conservative Christian. Conservatives do not write anti-conservative bullets and then shoot them at other conservatives. That's not what happens. That's not normal in our society. This is the suspect. Now, we don't know the story. Donald Trump is saying that somehow this person was brought to police, particularly by a family member. They're saying something about a minister. We don't really know. The rumors were out that the father was a police officer and turned the son over. But we don't even know if that's true based on the letter from the Washington County Sheriff's Office. What we do know is what was written on the ammunition and the evidence left at the scene. There will be more to come out. I'm sure there might even be a trial. We don't know if there's going to be a trial. He might plead guilty, which I'm sure he will, and then ask for life in prison, which they're not going to give him. I can assure you of that. This is Harry's assistant. Charlie Kirk is a sick, racist piece of trash. Just put the Klan hood on already, Charlie. Charlie Kirk killer active in Antifa. That's another thing that we're hearing, but we don't know that. So now the right side is saying that he was active in Antifa, but we know. This is a picture of the suspect and his father. Okay, right now this has not been confirmed, but the father has been reportedly the one that actually turned him in. Some people are saying that he physically restrained him while his buddy, the U.S. Marshal, came in. This is the tweet that he was saying, Charlie Kirk is a sick, racist piece of shit. Just put on the Klan hood already. 24 years ago, a group of Muslims killed 2,753 people on 9/11. Now a Muslim socialist. This is from Ann Batts. Again, it's a lot of information. We're going to talk about what we know is what we're going to do. I've already outlined what the information is. Okay. Let's talk about what we know. Okay. I have some notes here that we're going to look at. So Robinson is 22 years old, and he lives with his parents in Washington County, about 260 miles south of the shooting site. He is described as a Utah native from a great family with a military history. His father is reportedly law enforcement, possibly a sheriff's deputy. Father could be law enforcement and just not the officer that's been singled out. And his mother's a social worker. Neighbors have characterized the family as good kids from a stable home, right? Until he went to college. Robinson attended Utah State University for one semester in 2021 as a pre-engineering major, but took a leave of absence. He is not a student at UVU where the shooting occurred. He is currently a third-year student in the electrical apprentice program at Dixie Technical College. Voting and political history. Public records show Robinson voter status is inactive, meaning he has not voted in the last two general elections. He has not voted in the last two general elections or responded to county notices. His party affiliation is listed as unaffiliated, contrary to some online claims. He did donate to Donald Trump's campaign. Records indicate any such donations were from different individual with the same name. The records indicate that the donation was from a different individual with the same name. These are things that the left is using against us. It's somebody else with the same name, Tyler Robinson. It's not very uncommon. Apparently, he may have donated to Donald Trump. We don't know. But from right now, they're saying no. Okay, he allegedly used an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle, which recovered wrapped in a towel and hidden in bushes near the scene. The rifle was retrieved from a drop point, and investigators believe Robinson acted alone. Evidence from the bullet casings. Authorities found inscriptions on the casings, including a fired casing, notice bulges, "Hey fascist catch," and then the "Oh Bella, oh Bella, oh Bella" lyrics from the Italian anti-fascist song Bella Bella Ciao. The last one said, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." Taunting language. These engravings were linked to the anti-fascist and transgender ideology per sources. This is about his digital imprint. So there's some things that we found about his digital activity on Discord. Robinson was active on Discord, servers associated with Antifa and left-wing activism. His roommate provided investigators with messages from a contact named Tyler, discussing the rifle retrieval hidden in the woods, engraving bullets, and scoping the area. A Discord spokesperson confirmed an account linked to Robinson, but stated there was no evidence of planning violence or promotion on the platform. And 2 weeks before the shooting, Robinson and a family member discussed Kurt spreading hate. The motive. According to family interviews, Robinson had recently shifted to left-wing activism, rejecting the conservative values he was raised with. At a recent family dinner, he expressed intense anti-conservative views, calling Kirk a fascist and an existential threat who was full of hate. Some reports suggest he admired far-right figure Nick Fuentes, but viewed Kirk as not conservative enough, though the primary narrative points to anti-conservative radicalization. Anti-fascism. If anybody's closer to a fascist, it's Nick Fuentes. If you don't know who that is, he's kind of known as a white supremacist podcaster who's actually pretty popular. Okay. How is he caught? The FBI released surveillance photos of a person of interest on September 11th, prompting over 7,000 tips. Robinson's father recognized him in the images and confronted him. Robinson confessed, but initially said he would rather die by suicide than turn himself in. The father then contacted a family youth pastor who alerted the Washington County office. Family members did the right thing by cooperating, leading to Robinson's detention on the evening of September 11th at his family home. Utah Governor Spencer Cox praised the family's role in the historic progress of the 33-hour manhunt. Official statements. This is from Kash Patel when he confirmed the arrest, thanking President Donald Trump, federal federal agencies and the public. Governor Cox stated there were additional suspects at this time. The investigation involved the FBI, local law enforcement, and federal resources. This case has drawn significant attention due to its political implications. With Kirk, a prominent conservative figure and founding of Turning Point USA, no trial date has been set, and the investigation remains ongoing. For real-time updates, monitor official sources like the FBI, blah, 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 blah. It is unfathomable and unconscionable to say that this guy was a conservative. Why would a conservative kill another conservative? Especially for not being conservative enough. That's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that you would kill a conservative for not being conservative. It's ludicrous, and this is Marxism. This is what we've been talking about. The complete and utter destruction of factual information and the twisting and lying of it to suit their personal and political goals. To live in a society where the leftists can do no wrong. They can do no wrong. When they kill people, they're not known for killing people. We're going to blame it on there. Remember what we have always talked about. Everything the left accuses you of, they are doing themselves. So if they're accusing you of being violent, that means they're being violent. Here's Kash Patel making the announcement after the shooting.
In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
We're going to see the left go down quickly. We're going to see the complete and utter destruction of Democrats in this country. That's what we're going to see. That's what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see. I don't want to see this happen again to anybody. I don't want to see this happen to anybody on the left side of the aisle either. It's not necessary. Like we have a system of checks and balances that has been established to prevent political violence. Think. After the election of 2020, when Donald Trump was removed out of office and the left started persecuting conservatives, they started taking their voices down. They physically went after Donald Trump. They tried to lock him up. They tried to put him away for the rest of his life. They arrested Steve Bannon. They went after Rudy Giuliani. They took his law license away. They completely went in total Marxist, communist, totalitarian, complete abusive power. Did we respond with violence? No. What we did is we asserted our First Amendment rights. We went with the microphone. And we brought this to light about what the left was doing. And your average American didn't know. Your average American thought, well, Donald Trump, he's saying that the election was stolen, but the CNN is saying that Donald Trump's lying. CNN is telling me that Donald Trump has 34 felonies. And then our voices started to come through. They started to break through the noise. And the truth came out. And that's what we did. We own more guns than anybody in the world, the Republican Party in the United States. What we did not do is go violent and start killing our political enemies because we, in fact, knew they were a threat to democracy. We didn't act in a violent manner. We spoke our opinions, even though government tried to suppress our opinions. And we never resulted to violence. There's a fundamental difference here. This is the governor of Utah announcing that somebody was arrested.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
Oh.
The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings.
They have enough evidence to put this kid to death. And I will tell you, if the rumors are true, the father of Tyler Robinson absolutely needs to be praised. And he needs to be rewarded. It is a very tough thing to find out that your son is a killer and that he just killed a very prominent person and that there's going to be a manhunt at people coming after him. And that if you hand him over to the authorities, that there is a high probability your son is going to be put to death. This is Utah, not California. So the father of Tyler Robinson, if that's the family member that turned him over, needs to be praised.
Those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly.
Does that sound like a conservative? I mean, does it? Give me an answer in the comments. I mean, the answer is no. The answer is 100% no. And I don't care what you do and how you try to twist it. That's exactly what the left is doing. They're doing it now. It's all over Twitter. Just go to Twitter. It's like their own little echo chamber. And they're swarming Twitter. And they're releasing fake information. Here is a picture of the suspect, Tyler Robinson. And yes, as you all know, we do mention shooters' names on this show. Not to glorify them, but because it's important to know who the hell they are. This is a photoshopped image of a fake Trump shirt that somebody created simply to try to portray this person as a Trump supporter. It's propaganda, and it's in waves. There's tons of it. It's just not going away. They don't like you. They don't care about life. They care about their political philosophy. And anybody who disagrees with their political philosophy deserves to die a traitor's death. Here is a influencer just going around asking people what they feel about Charlie Kirk.
How do you feel about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated?
Some people say it's deserved.
To get murdered in front of his children and family?
When God calls you home, you gotta go.
You think God called him home? It's well deserved. For him specifically getting killed, womp womp. He got what he deserved. Honestly, I feel like he deserved. No shade.
Don't you think it's disgusting to be celebrated?
Perspective as a woman of color, and
that justifies it?
100%, I feel like. Because nobody gave a f when it was MLK, Malcolm X.
We don't like those kind of deaths either.
There's no group of white people that I see pushing so hard for those type of deaths.
That was a while ago. We equally condemn those deaths.
Do we? I mean,
you're talking to me right now. Do you think that most conservative white men want black people to die?
Well, the one who recently just died, Charlie, definitely thought so. You basically wanted black.
And that's more misinformation. And so that this hate and this hate, demonize and kill the right comes from is from all the disinformation of the left, the propaganda, the lies. Like the video we watched earlier of all of them calling them fascists and imminent threats to democracy, and they're fascist and they're racist and homophobic and xenophobic and anti-Semitic. They're everything under the sun. Anything that is evil and doesn't deserve to exist on the earth, the left attributes to the right through lies and false news. To the point where this child has no idea about Charlie Kirk or what Charlie Kirk stood for or who he really was, a great and honest and highly intelligent Christian man who only wanted to speak to people. That's his biggest crime, was to say, hey, you disagree with me, don't you? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Because when people run out of words, they result to violence.
Black people to be slaves. Like, what are you talking about?
I feel like if you wish death on other people, for that to happen to you, it's kind of like, that's just karma.
Who does he wish death on?
He said awful things about trans people, doesn't care about their rights, or like he's a conservative.
So if you don't like trans people, you deserve to be shot in the neck?
100% the people who oppress us deserve to die. Like,
So all conservatives deserve to die. That's what this young child is saying. This is important. This is serious, and this is dangerous. And we just saw how dangerous it is. Where's the next Tyler Robinson going to come from, and who are they going to kill if we don't right these wrongs and deprogram these people? These people are victims. This girl is a victim. She's a victim of the left. She's been lied to through a system that has been designed to make her an activist. From elementary school to college, she's been programmed to think this way and thinks it's education and does not understand that she has been programmed to go out and activate other people to come on their political side so they can introduce totalitarianism and communism into the United States.
If you don't like trans people, you deserve to be shot in the neck.
Yes, like he made it very known verbally that he does not support any of us, and he spoke reckless, and I guess he got hit for that. So he put himself at risk saying all those nasty ass things and then going publicly in front of people. And plus, he was the same person that said guns lives matter, right? So obviously, what happened to him is just like he would approve of it. Guns lives matter. Someone used the gun, and it saved lives. We agree. We agree. I agree. I don't care if it's ignorance or coming out of hatred from my heart. It's opinionated.
It's horrifically sad and horrible. But this is the pandemic. This is the pandemic of our nation now. This is the result. This is what happens. Because conservatives have been way too compliant, too nice, too polite for too long. Conservatives have been turning the other cheek for too long, and I'm not saying to get violent. I'm saying quite the opposite. I'm saying to fight back harder and put processes in place to make sure this crap isn't being thrown into our children's minds and developing into adults that are now violent. Here's a video that a student recorded at a college of people watching the video of Charlie Kirk and the whole class celebrating. They're happy. They're joyful.
Why are we cheering for someone getting shot?
And she asked him
no
that
matter
question.
what political beliefs are, we should not be cheering that someone got shot. He has a family. We do. I value everyone's beliefs, but we should not be cheering as a class that someone got shot.
Correct. She's saying he has a family, and we should not be cheering for somebody who has been shot. Mike Bennett said, Charlie believed college was indoctrination, not education. College is indoctrination and not education. That's precisely what it is. That's what Charlie was trying to show them. And he got killed for it. He got killed because he disagreed with people. That is all. That's all. Nothing else. So earlier today, a criminologist appeared on MSNBC and claimed that there's no theme when it comes to Tyler Robinson's bullet casings. He's trying to say that there's no theme to this. That there's no trend. He wrote "catch this fascist" on a bullet casing? That doesn't matter. This is state-run propaganda. That's exactly what this is.
Transpired here these last 72 hours.
Von Hilliard, thank you, everyone. Please stay close. And joining us now is criminologist Casey Jordan. Casey, so much happening so quickly here this morning. We're learning as well from our own reporting that there's no indication of a prior criminal record. This is according to searches of state national public records associated with the person, Tyler Robinson, and his date of birth. One of the most striking details that we learned from this press conference were, again, about those bullet casings and the inscriptions, "Hey, fascist," the words, Bella Ciao, the words, "If you read this, you are gay." What do you see as the...
Judy says she's not a child at 7 years old. You know right from wrong. You do. You do know right from wrong, but they thwart your mind. You know right from wrong, but the people at Jonestown that all drank the Kool-Aid were brainwashed into thinking that that's what they were supposed to do. I get it. And this kid is a victim too. Tyler is a victim of this hate-filled propaganda that drove him to kill. It doesn't mean that he shouldn't be held accountable for his actions. I 100% believe he should be held accountable for his actions. But you do, if you're going to fix the situation, you have to fully know it and understand it. Thank you so much for your comment.
significance or what the message is that he's trying to communicate here?
Really, I would need to actually see these words in the way that they are on the bullet casings in the gun to make a proper interpretation. But just knowing what those words are, I'm kind of overwhelmed with how immature it all sounds, and that there is no really chronic theme. I think Brandy really nailed it. You have to make of it what you want, because, you know, it's like sees bulges, if you're reading this, you're gay, you know, catch this fascist, or hey fascist, catch. It's like the rantings of a really immature child. And we really need to learn a lot more about what was going on in this accused shooter's life when all of this was happening. Was he in a rabbit hole? Did he have no job? Did he have no purpose? You know, how did he become such a consumer of hate? That his family reports he was you know, talking in with hate speech about his feelings about the victim just at the family dinner the night before. We get the impression he didn't live at home because they talk about the Discord messages with his roommate. But they also confirmed he is not a college student at the university where the crime happened. So I will be very interested to reconstruct what was going on in his life. Did he have a job? Did he go to school? Was he fired from a job? Did he apply to jobs and he was not hired? Did he, have just smoldering hate? Mostly my takeaway is that the writings on the gun and on the bullets really emulate everything we just saw a few weeks ago in the Minnesota Catholic school shooting. So I don't think this has been a long-term plan. I think it probably was hatched when this alleged shooter heard that Charlie Kirk was coming to the area, his area, in his backyard at a university that he could easily access, pass as a college student there, go up on the roofs. I mean,
They won't admit it. They won't tell you. They won't do it. They won't do it. And this is the battle that we're fighting. And we have to change it with knowledge and education to repair our society that has been broken. Now, Charlie Kirk's remains are being brought back to his home state of Arizona, where him and his wife lives.
Where no doubt next week, sometime the wake will be happening, probably will be very private.
In a white hearse. It's tragedy. And it's fueled by the left. And I'm not going to stop saying that because that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. That is what's happening, and I'll bring the receipts to prove it. I have brought the receipts. I've talked about it for years. I started this 5 years ago. And I talked about this. It was one of the first episodes I ever did. The infiltration of radical ideology into our school system. And that the worst thing we ever did was allow the government to teach our school children. This is one of the reasons Trump got rid of the Board of Education, and rightfully so.
Do authorities believe that Tyler Robinson acted alone?
Yeah, yes, Brett. They're very confident right now. Obviously, the investigation is ongoing. They're still following every lead. We appreciate the public who has reached out, but every piece of evidence we have so far makes it very clear that the assassin acted alone.
So I saw you read from the do authorities believe that Tyler?
Well, as of right now, they think he acted alone. That can change. I'm sure he's going to be thoroughly interrogated, and we're going to see a lot more information come out, particularly if this goes to trial. If this goes to trial and there's witnesses and there is case and there's hearings and this kid does not plead out, that's what we're going to see. But I do think that if the state of Utah does not go for the death penalty, the Trump administration is going to put federal charges on him. Here is Gutfeld.
It's hard to gather your thoughts beyond just horror. So instead, I mean, Charlie was such a force of nature. He was brilliant and he was funny, but what scared people was his persuasive. The only way to take him down, because he could persuade you so strongly, was to kill him. And the shock and despair that we are feeling, and I mean we as in shared by everyone at home and around this table and in this building, it's a testament to the impact of Charlie's friendship and his bravery and his character. And it's so deep a wound that we all feel. It's because it feels like he's one of us. He's part of us because he was such genuinely a patriot and a great person. So how do you work through this stuff? It's not about him or me. It's us, the viewers. You are us. What do we do? Well, you still do what you always do, but you do more of it. You stand up, you speak up, and you share the risk. Right now, you are recoiling, but you have to come back and return stronger, more fortified, and more resilient. What is ironic, fittingly, I guess, is that this is a turning point. You know, if you believe in Charlie, you got to believe in yourself because he believed in you. You know, this isn't over. This is the beginning. And Charlie's power just got released in all of us. He's going to be bigger now than he ever was on this chaotic planet. He made us all bigger. So I think that if you're at home and you're feeling bad, don't just get through it. And remember that he would want you to get stronger and not back down.
Horrible. Horrible. But he's right. Ironically, this is a turning point. And I came across this video that I wanted to share with everybody tonight. This is a TikTok influencer. She had punched into AI, what would Charlie say to all of us right now?
First, I want you to know I'm fine, not because my body is fine, but because my soul is secure in Christ. Death is the end. It's a promotion. Don't wait 1 second mourning me. I knew the risks of standing up in this cultural moment, and I'd do it all over again. Second, do not let this violence divide us further. The enemy wants chaos, fear, and retaliation. Don't give it to them. Instead, double down on truth. Double down on courage. Double down on your faith and on your families. That is how you honor me. Third, remember this. America is worth it. Free speech is worth it. Fighting for the unborn, for families, for sanity in a culture gone mad, it is all worth it. So dry your tears, pick up your cross, and get back in the fight. Do it with joy. Do it with strength. And never ever let evil think it won. First, I want you to know I'm fine.
And that's exactly what we need to do. I think Charlie will go down in history as a martyr. I think we're going to see memorials of him across the country. We've already seen massive escorts of his body. The vice president of the United States carrying his casket. The president of the United States lowering flags to half-mast. Charlie's impact on the world will forever be remembered. He was only 31 years old. And in the time that he was 18 is when he started his mission to go to colleges and talk to students about what they were learning and whether it was right or not. He was highly intelligent, very well read, would destroy professors with PhDs because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. It's a scam. It's an indoctrination system, and that's exactly what Charlie was trying to show the world. And now the world is being forced to look at it. And now everybody with a microphone on the right side of the aisle is amplified 10 times more. This is probably God's plan for Charlie. Of course, it is God's plan for Charlie. That unfortunately it's tragic. The world is now going to be forced to know and listen and research Charlie Kirk. Because if you didn't know Charlie Kirk before, you damn sure know him now. And his voice is going to echo for 100 years, bringing attention to the things that we're trying to fix collectively. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate every last one of you. My family thanks you for tuning in. Hold your children close. Pray every day and thank God for the life that you have. I will see you